In 1880, a single month in Las Vegas, New Mexico saw 29 men killed by murder, self-defense, or the rope of a vigilante committee. This wasn't the famous gambling strip in Nevada. This was the hottest town in the American West, a place historians say was more lawless than Dodge City or Tombstone. What happens when the outlaws don't just hide from the law, but actually become the law?
The chaos truly began in 1879 when the railroad reached the Meadow City. A grifter and petty thief named Hyman G. Neal, better known as Hoodoo Brown, arrived and quickly seized control of the town's civic structure. He was tall, thin, and rakish, with a nickname allegedly given to him by a saloon girl who considered him bad luck. Neal managed to get himself elected as Justice of the Peace, Mayor, and Coroner. To enforce his will, he recruited notorious gunfighters from Kansas to form a police force known as the Dodge City Gang. This peace force included men like Mysterious Dave Mather, Dirty Dave Rudabaugh, and J.J. Webb. They didn't just patrol the streets, they ran a criminal cartel. Neal used his role as coroner to impanel his own gang members as coroner's juries. Whenever a gang member killed a rival in a saloon, the jury would officially rule it justifiable homicide. The gang's dominance collapsed after the murder of a freighter named Michael Kelleher. Constable J.J. Webb shot Kelleher in a saloon after he refused to be disarmed. Neal tried to claim the $2,000 found on the victim's body, but a suspicious judge notified a grand jury. Webb was arrested for murder, and Hoodoo Brown vanished from the territory, reportedly stealing money from a dead man before fleeing to Texas. While Hoodoo Brown's gang was preying on the town, a different kind of violence was brewing in the surrounding grasslands. Wealthy Anglo ranchers and speculators, known as the Santa Fe Ring, were using barbed wire to fence off communal lands that Hispanic settlers had shared for generations. In 1889, a clandestine group known as Las Gorras Blancas, or the White Caps, emerged to fight back. Believed to be led by the Herrera brothers, Juan Jose, Pablo, and Nicanor, the group numbered as many as 1,500 members. They were night riders who wore white hoods to hide their identities. Their primary weapon wasn't the pistol, but the wire cutter. In one 18-month period, they launched 80 separate attacks, destroying hundreds of miles of illegal fencing. They burned barns, destroyed railroad ties, and posted notices signed White Caps, Fence Cutters, and Death. The group eventually morphed into a political force called El Partido del Pueblo Unido, or the United People's Party. They won sweeping electoral victories in 1890, but the movement was soon crushed by the establishment. Pablo Herrera was eventually gunned down by a deputy sheriff in front of the Las Vegas courthouse, an assassination that helped end the resistance. By the early 1890s, another shadow fell over Las Vegas. Vicente Silva was a respected saloon owner and a pillar of the community. He was known for his agreeable manners and for donating generously to the church and local orphans. But behind this charitable facade, Silva led a vicious, mafia-like syndicate known as the Society of Bandits, or the 40 Bandits. His gang was responsible for a string of cattle thefts, mysterious disappearances, and murders. Silva's downfall came from within. Fearing that a gang member named Patricio Maez was about to inform the authorities, Silva ordered him lynched during a snowstorm in 1892. Paranoia quickly consumed him. He later ordered the murder of his own brother-in-law. When Silva's wife began asking too many questions, he decided she had to die as well. He ordered 3 of his men to dig her grave, but as they worked, they realized their leader had become a madman. When Silva arrived with his wife's body, his own men murdered him and buried him in the same shallow grave. Las Vegas, New Mexico eventually outlived its era of gangs and night riders. Today, the town is known for its architecture and the 900 buildings on the National Register of Historic Places.
but the quiet plaza remains a monument to a time when law and order were decided by the fastest draw and the sharpest wire cutters.